And hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this lovely Saturday, where we're joined by Gougeon from Sojo University, but originally from Canada. He is a very good egg who has previously experienced translation of Moodle and managed it firsthand. In fact, he was one of the people who was directly responsible for a bulk amount of the translation of Moodle into Burmese. So the people from Myanmar, if you want to know who to thank, he's the guy. Well, he's one of the guys on the team, so it's cool. Anyway, he's coming here to talk to us today about that and more aspects of translating Moodle into your own local language. So, without any further ado, I will let him talk about it, and I will be quiet. Thank you very much. Take it away,
All
Luke.
right. Thank you very much, Adam, for this wonderful introduction, and welcome everybody to the Tower of Moodle. I will do my best today to guide you to the big task of figuring out the Tower of Babel of Moodle and how you can help translate Moodles. Like Adam said, I am from Canada. I'm from Montreal originally, and I teach at Sojo University. I spent a lot of time tinkering around with computers and sensors and Arduinos and AI in a lab. So I teach English, and I'm responsible at Sojo University for the AI lab. And I've been in Japan since 2008. I'm a little bit of a newcomer to Moodle. For the longest time, I was a Google Classroom educator, and I was a trainer also for Google Classroom. And I came a little bit late to Moodle, and it is partly because of my involvement with some NPOs and not actually using it in class. I only started using Moodle on a regular basis in class when I started working at Sojo University. And you might ask yourself, can you um, freely customize text on Moodles? And the answer is yes. If you are running an instance of Moodle, you can open up your instance and on your server and find the strings. And if you feel that a word within your school Moodle has to be changed, uh, whatever the reason is, you can. If you find a mistake, you would be encouraged not to do it on your instance, but then you'd be encouraged to find that string within the Moodle translation system and then change that string for the rest of the planet. So this is what I'm going to talk about today: how you can use that customization. So this is the link for the language customization. This is how you would change the string on your machine. But this is not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how you can change the strings for the whole world. And it's a big task, okay? And it will come naturally with a warning. Whatever you do in the Google Translate page has an effect on everybody. So if you are not careful, it is extremely easy to break things. It is also easy to put mistakes on the Moodle, whatever the language you were translating into. So, yes, it is something that you have to be very, very careful. This is something I learned about while I was working on the translation of the Myanmar language, like Adam was mentioning. So, if you are doing it yourself, or if you are managing a team, this will have to be a constant reminder, just to be careful. So, how did I get here? How did I get to translate the Myanmar language pack? I do not speak a single word of Myanmar language. Um, I was a consultant for a few years for an NPO called Building Markets. Building Market is a kind of a big NPO back then, and it empowers small and medium sized companies in regions around the world that are vulnerable or affected by crisis. And basically, the goal is to teach local people how to access foreign supply chain, raise capital. It's a training program, mostly for getting access to tenders. A tender is an international contract from an organization like the UN, for example. If the UN needs chairs, or if they need a table or furniture, whatever, in any country of the world, they will normally publish tenders, and local companies are encouraged to apply for these tenders. So this is the mission of Building Market. And right after the pandemic, I was contacted by one of the people at Building Market who knew me from when I was a student, and they complained that their training system while the pandemic was going on was not working very well. They were using Canvas, and they asked me, like, what do you think? Like, you're good with Google. We know you're an educator, that you like to use online tools. What tool do you believe would suit us best? And since Building Market works around the world, um, and I look at the translation package, I decided to suggest that they use Moodle as their main training tool. Back then, uh, while English was the lingua franca of the whole organization, around the world, every team speaks English. Um, they needed educational platform in Turkish language, Spanish, and Myanmar language, and also Arabic. The people they were training back then in Turkey were Syrian refugees. So they had a team in the Turkish office who spoke Arabic, and another team who spoke Turkish, and some who spoke both. Um, so this is just a very small window into an organization that needs to be able to contact people, sometimes in very dire situation, especially in the Myanmar. Like, Myanmar is not the most stable country right now. In 2021, there was a military coup, and this is exactly when we started translating the platform in the Myanmar language. Um, we made it available for, like I said, for Syrian refugees. This is what the platform looked in Arabic. And we often put English and Arabic on the same page as a teaching tool. Also, it was easier once we built one course. For example, we would build one course in Arabic. If the Myanmar team wanted to replicate what the Turkish team were doing, they could just see the title in English, and they were able to navigate quite easily, and they were able to build their own course just by seeing the titles in English. Um, I remember back then that the Syrian team were extremely impressed by the Moodle Arabic version. It perfectly replicated what they are used to. And the Arabic web is very different from our web. It's all in the other direction. And Moodle perfectly replicates that. It also caused some problems when Turkish people were trying to access it. So they asked for some little ways, little tricks, so they could switch version very quickly between Turkish and Arabic, so they could figure out how to fix it when they needed to. So, like I said, in 2021, uh, the conflict in Myanmar created a very difficult situation where our team on the ground could not leave their office. Actually, they could not leave home. Training, in person training, was completely suspended. So we had a team of dedicated worker who all spoke English, were all computer savvy, and they were stuck home. They could not do anything. And for security, our staff had to remain completely anonymous. Um, while in the Syrian staff and the staff in Turkey or the staff in Colombia, they could show their face. They could teach in person. They could use a Zoom call with other people. In Myanmar, our staff were not able to show their face, and we quickly realized that even if Moodle was the amazing platform, it was very, very poorly translated. Back then, it was only 1% of Moodle that was translated. Um, One of the very innovative way that we managed to reach out for the Myanmar people was to create these interactive video in H5P. Uh, but while, like I said, while the Syrian were using their face in the video, we we found a way for the Myanmar team to use avatars. So they made these beautiful slides, all in the Myanmar language, and they use avatars. And this is at the beginning because the dashboard is still in English. The dashboard was not translated in the Myanmar language. So we use avatars, and if you're curious, the system that we use was only a very, very easy thing that we use is we use Adobe character animators, and you use your webcam, and the webcam mimics your gestures and also mimics your face. So for that purpose, it was perfect. It was a very simple way to reach people. And while the people were busy recording this, one big chunk of the team was busy translating Moodle into the Myanmar language. If you are curious, the whole adventure was covered on the Moodle podcast. It's called The Power of E-Learning in Local Language to Empower Small Businesses in Country Experiencing Challenges. And it's a conversation with back then the program director in Turkey, who explains how Building Market, me and Adams and other people, we help to translate in different languages. It was not a problem in Turkey. Turkish package was already well translated, well enough. The Arabic package was perfect. And of course, the Spanish package that was used in the Colombia was also perfectly translated. So this is what it looks when you open the language app, the language website on Moodle. You get all the different languages with the percentage of translations, and you see a number. For example, Burmese around 2021 was translated to 71%. 71% represents 21,871 packages out of a total of 30,777. So Moodle is made out of roughly 30,000 strings, 30,000 little sentences all chopped up. That is the whole of a Moodle. And that number keeps going up. I believe I do not work with Building Market anymore, but as you can see, in 2026, we went from 71% to 64%. And now there are 32,557 strings. So at that level, at over 60 or over 50%, Moodle is perfectly usable. I will explain later. There are different part of the Moodle translation package, and for the student, which is probably the most important, at 64%, I believe the students will have a great experience. Um, if you look at a package like English, which has been 100% translated, you can see a few interesting things. There is an English for Canada, an English for the United States. So Bill is happy. I'm sorry, there's no English for Australia, but there is English for the workplace. These are packages that are created specifically for the workplace version of Moodle. We will not cover the workplace today. There is also a package for Kid, which is a simplified version of Moodle. And as you can see, there's a big arrow there. There's even a pirate version of Moodle, which is created for Pirate Day, and it is only available in English. There are no other pirate version of Moodle throughout the whole system. Um, so let's start from the beginning. When you want to start translating Moodle, you need to go to the language page of Moodle. There is a specific portal. You access it, and then you register yourself, you log in, and you have all the tools available in one page. The documentation is available there, and all the information you need to start translating. Um, that page is where you will send your translators. They will start there. All the information is available. You log in, like I said, you could use Google or a simple password. Um, my team, they use Moodle, Google, and then you will use a tool called the Amos Translator. This is the translation platform within Moodle that takes care of all the strings. This is what it looks like. You have at the top the components. This is where you filter which part of Moodle you want to translate. Then you have the language, and then you show the strings. So this is what it looks like when you have a green box. The string is translated, and it's accepted, and it's pushed to productions. So about to install, accept, actions. Um, there are, I can show you a little bit more. And this is what it looks like when you are a translator. You see these red box. These are the strings that needs to be translated. It's not always easy. So when you find a team like this, you ask who is best at translating technical computer or science English. And the best of the best will become the final eyes on the translations of all the other translators. So you need, in this specific case, I will explain a little bit further later. It was a big team. They worked extremely hard because they had nothing else to do. They could not go out in the street. When I was on the phone call with them, we could hear bombs fall in the background. It was a very dire situation, but with the little internet access that they had, they were able to do that with no problems. So this is the Amos stage. You translate activity menu, and then you send that string to the language pack maintainers. Um, language pack maintainers are the people in charge of the language. So for each language, there is one maintainers or a team of maintainers. So for English, I believe there's a bunch of them. For the Myanmar language, originally there were two, and we ended up being the third one. Like I said earlier, Moodle is split into different cores. There is the standard core, which is the engine of Moodle. Uh, there's the additional core, which are plugins and some modular component. There is a very specific Moodle app core, and the last one is Moodle Workplace. In the case of Myanmar language, we did not care at all for the Moodle Workplace. It was not important. The priority was standard. It was Moodle app. The people within building markets were using the app a lot. In outside of America or Japan, or people use smartphones. In Africa, in East Asia, people are relying on smartphone to access the internet. So for us, translating the Moodle app was a priority since it was their main way to access Moodle. There is also a distinction to be made between front end and back end. Uh, Moodle cores, some of them are for front end users, the students. For us, we started with only front end users translation. Only what the students can see was translated. And then once we were done with that, they moved to back end, which is the admin part. This is the stuff that the teachers will see. So normally front end, move toward back end. Like I said, it had 29,000 strings. Now it has 32,559. This was taken from the US page. And this is the priority we set. Files should be translated, all the string visible to students, all the other parts of Moodles, and then admin modules if they had time. They never went to 100%. Some package don't go to 100%. Other package, like the Japanese package, is maintained constantly at 100%. This is what the tool looks like. It's called the AMOS, automated manipulation of strings. So the AMOS user on the left side of the screen will translate. He will submit. A maintainer will see that string. So it will go through one stage to the other. And once the maintainer approve it, it will move into the repository and then move into the Moodle package that will be downloaded into your computer and updated. So when you update Moodle or download a language package, you'll get what has been done. So the most important thing you need to do is to find out who the pack manager is. You don't want to step on toes. If you are going on a lone wolf mission of translating a new language, the package manager will get all your string. If they're not ready for that, you're in trouble. In our case, we were doing it full time, nonstop, night and days almost. Back then, there were two package manager. We try to contact them. You can see the message bubble on the screens. We could not contact them. They would not answer back. They didn't really care. We tried and tried and tried, and it didn't work. So we decided that we wanted to be a package manager. So how can Building Market become a package manager? Within the world of Moodle translation, there is one person who takes care of all of this. His name is Cohen Rogemans. He is the person you want to talk to. After you've tried to contact the package manager, if you were not successful, you contact Cohen. Cohen will contact them. Cohen makes all the decision for the translation. So once he decides that they are not reachable, or they don't want to participate, or they retired, or they're not as interested as before, Cohen is the only one who can make the decision to make you a package manager. So he's a very nice guy, super open minded, but he's the one you want to talk to after you try to reach the package manager. The Myanmar case was extreme. Uh, it's probably one of the first and only case in the history of Moodle translation where all the translators were anonymous. I was the package manager for my name, and my email address was on the website. And this is how Adam found me. I do not speak the Myanmar language. So, but in our case, since the military were not very friendly and they could have gotten in trouble if they found their names or their email address, me as a Canadian who lives in Japan, I was very safe. I put my name and my email address as the Myanmar package manager, and that's just what we did. We just started translating the package. We went from translation to stage to commit. For practical reason, it is super important that you do not uh, upload more than 30 string at a time. So the translators will translate 30 strings and submit. That way, when you have blocks of 30 strings, it does not create like a traffic jam within the AMOS system. So 30 string was like the Goldilocks number that we gave our translators. So they would do 30, submit, and then they would start another block of 30. And it is more manageable for the package manager, the person in charge, to look at 30 strings than seeing 150 strings and getting lost. So highly, highly recommend that you do not translate more than 30 strings. Um, like I said, you log in on the page. You need to create an internal tool before staging. This is something that we found out while we were translating. Um, so when you have a team as big as we had, they decided to pre-stage everything. So instead of directly translate, they would just copy and paste one column on an Excel spreadsheet. Then they would do the translation, and then just to make sure there was no mistake, they would send it to the pack manager. They were in the same office, and he would look at the Excel spreadsheet and say, oh, yeah, that looks good. It doesn't look too bad. Then they would submit. He would do a second check. It'd be, all right, it's fine. It looks good. You can submit. So if you have a situation where you're doing a lots and lots and lots of strings at the same time, that might be a good strategy just to pre-stage everything before you commit, so you don't make any mistakes. Um, not everything should be translated. This is probably one of the biggest hurdle for a translator. There is a very, very long list of things that should not be translated. This will break the system. If you send them, it literally will break the system. So you have to be careful. On the documentation in the FAQ, you'll find that list. Today, Adam asked me a question about AI. I will come back to it a little bit later. There might be a strategy that you can use AI to maybe lessen the burden of trying to translate everything and remember all the time that you should not translate a password or picture. Or it's a lot to put in your mind when you are sitting in front of your screen and just trying to translate. It's a lot to remember. So I know the team printed these and they were looking at it while they were translating, but there might be better ways to do it. When it comes to using basic translation tools, yes, but relying, for example, on Google Translate or AI is sometimes tricky. it's a little bit dangerous. And within Building Market, we had a mini crisis at one point because a turkey is not Turkey. Uh, they use AI tools to translate some very important document for a contract, but the document translated the country Turkiye in the word Turkey. And I can promise you, the people who spoke Turkish were not very happy. Uh, but it was an honest mistake. They were trying their best within the situation, um, to overcome problems that you're pressed by time. You want to translate very quickly, so you have to be a little bit careful. Um, here are some possible ways that you could contribute to the translation. So, one of them might sound weird, but you could participate in creating a child friendly pack. These are the pack currently available: German, Greek, English, Spanish, Hebrew, Hindi, and Japanese. Um, and you might be like, why would I use a child pack? Students at my university, Sojo, they created an app for kindergarten children, and it was the perfect thing. We had the Japanese pack, and we used it for that specific case, which I hope to talk about at the Moodle Moot. It was a very simple Moodle instance, but yes, we're aiming it at Japanese kids specifically, not high school's kid, not university kid, kids, kids who are 5, 6 years old. So that's one way that you could potentially contribute. Um, the list of languages that are not translated is extremely long. Uh, one one thing that you could do, or one reason why you would use Moodle and try to find new languages to translate, it could be, for example, Congo. The Red Cross said that one of the big problem right now in Congo with the Ebola crisis is a lack of education on Ebola and a lack of trust. If you are an NPO working in Africa and you want to reach people and you want to use technology, because they all want to use technology to learn, uh, if you say, well, here I have an educational app, it's in English, not so much. But in the case of Congo, French, yes, French is 100% translated, but Swahili is only translated at 4%. And the other official languages of Congo, the Kikongo, Lingala, and Chiluba, are 0%. So that could potentially be a target for a group of translators to slowly start translating Moodle into these languages. And the UN uses Moodle. It could be a tool for them then to reach out to people directly. And I promise you, if you are in a country where people don't necessarily translate the web for you, and then suddenly you get an app that is translated in your language, you feel very happy, and you might have a little bit more trust in the system that you are using. And that's why you want to use that translation facility and just translate Moodle into all the languages you can, because you never know when you will need it. At Building Market, we use Moodle for a very, very, very specific case of Afghani refugees who were stuck in Pakistan and they needed to access knowledge. And we were lucky enough that the, the language that they were using was translated, and they could use it very, very readily. And it was very easy for them to use. Um, Today, Adam asked me about AI. What are the positions about using AI? Like I've mentioned a little bit earlier, the human needs to be in the loop because this is mission critical for Moodle. When there's a mistake in Moodle, there's a lot of eyes that will see it. Um, One thing, this is an idea from Adam. He told me about this plugin for translating plugins. So you are using AI. They suggest to use the DeepL API or the Azure API to help trans- translate plugins and part of Moodle course. I think it's a good idea. It might work extremely well, but you will need a package manager that will do what the teachers do and read over and make sure that nothing crazy happened in the translation. A second way, which is a little bit more simple, uh, you can use any agent, could be Claude Code, could be Anti Gravity, could be Codex. It's extremely easy then to load up the rules. That list of rules, you can create a markdown document with all the rules and say, well, these are the words that you should absolutely not translate. You can also ask, why don't you perform a grammar check? And you can also say, like, if you see something strange, if you see something weird, it's also possible to load the 35,000 strings of English, for example. And if you see, like, if you say, like, whatever the translation, if there's something that you don't feel comfortable with, flag it. Uh, the pack manager will be able to do that before they commit. It's a very easy, it's not a very expensive solution. I'm sure that this can be translated into a working model and not necessarily only use deeply or Azure. So you have options. You can use some offline models, online models. So this is my idea about using AI to do the language pack. I am not sure about the official position of Moodle. I did not ask Cohen what he thought, but maybe Adam knows more than I do about that. No. And that's it. Sorry, I'm a little bit short of an hour. Uh, but if you have any question, do not hesitate to contact me at Sojo. Maybe Adam, you have some question, or Bill, or Miss Junko.
Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, when I hit the clappy emoji, it didn't let me unmute. But thank you very much, Luke. That was awesome.
You're very welcome.
In fact, you're a wealth of information about this facet of Moodle development that I've always wanted to know more about. In
Thank you.
particular, for quite some time now, I've had a teacher lined up, but it's been hard to get him. So he's a teacher in Thailand, and
Yes.
I've been looking to actually get him working on the type. But he's always found that the getting into Amos and everything there've been hurdles. And also, we tried to contact the maintainer of the Thai language pack, and I just double checked again, and it's been over a year now, and I've got no response. So we're kind of at a stalemate on that. Is there a way? So this comes to the question: is there a way that I could perhaps use the one of these translating things similar to Amos, but actually just fire up a fully translated AI translated language pack, for example, and have the ability to flag things that are strange? Like, so have, say, students, for example, looking at the Moodle site and say, hey, flag something if it looks weird to you, flag it. And then we could say, oh, this needs TLC. Is there a way of doing something like that that you know of?
Not that I know of. But like I said before,
Hmm.
the only way now would be to contact Cohen and explain to Cohen the situation. Tell him that, look, we've contacted them for a year. They did not respond. Can I become the package manager, or
Yeah,
can your
but
team?
It's no, I'm sort of I am feeling a little emboldened after hearing you talk about how you became the package manager for Burmese, even though you don't speak Burmese,
Yeah,
because I don't speak a word of Thai.
yeah. So you need
Well, actually, Sawadee,
you definitely need
that's
a
it.
package manager who speaks Thai because
Hmm.
they're the one who can pull the trigger and change the string.
Right, right.
Uh, uh,
I know that Mo is has made several plugins for Thai language.
mm,
He's not a language pack maintainer, but I do know he's made some plugins just for the Thai
Mm.
language.
you might be the right
Mm.
person.
Yeah. Might be interesting to ask him. I mean, the idea. I do know people who are in Thailand who are using Moodle and they have students. And what I'm sort of envisioning now is if there a way for a student to just flag something, say this is weird, it should be boom on a live Moodle site,
Might be. But
then
you're able if you have admin access, you're able to identify the specific string, right?
yeah, yeah.
The thing
But
is that the students
I,
don't
I
have that
think
access.
yeah, what I'm thinking about needing is a good solid thing for the students. When the students spot one that we can crowdsource it essentially to the kids who are using it.
It might be
I
possible.
think
It might be very
crowdsourcing translation is it doesn't exist. It kind of feels like it should. you know?
I think
Uh,
for major packages, it's something that is done with quite gravitas. Like they're very serious about it. Like a
mm,
package like French or Japanese,
mm,
they probably have extremely active package manager and
mm,
regular contributors. Like every time the new string comes out, they must have a team of contributors that just translates it, right?
mm, mm.
Russian, Japanese, French, uh, but
Well, I mean, with us being in the Asian context and
yeah,
sort of looking at the languages in Asia that are very low translation rates. I mean, Thai stands out at 20%.
yeah,
I think Korean also is pretty low, but I think it's like in the 50s or something. I'm scrolling through to try and find it.
you
Yeah,
can
it's 50%.
you can probably correlate the penetration of Moodles in these countries with the percentage of translation, right?
Yeah. So if we
How
were to
about
break the wheel, it,
the Khmer? I have students from Cambodia, so that was something I was thinking of as well.
mm,
Yeah, you know.
looking, it's unfortunately it's in the order of how much it has been translated. So you can,
Oh,
it's not really in alphabetical order of language.
okay. Yeah. Um, while he's searching that, I do have a question about the translation of field names. When you say you definitely do not translate, are these field names? Are you talking the ones that are on the in the code, or are you talking about the strings for?
They are often in the code. They're
Okay,
often not seen because
okay,
it basically when they string the whole of Moodles, they literally string everything.
hmm.
They chop the whole code base, and some of them you don't touch.
Yeah, okay. No, because
That's it.
when I upload upload my students' information for enrollment, they have
Yeah,
last name, first name, all that. I understand that should not be translated. I'm thinking though for like the stuff that students would see. Yeah,
mm.
but is this for the more like for admin and back end people to see
Yeah,
these strings on? Okay, so it's basically it would be through a terminal and not the web page, the web interface.
exactly,
Right? Okay,
exactly.
that's what I want to make sure. Yeah.
When you log in into Amos, you have
Yeah.
all these boxes, right? Some of them are all backend. Like only admin will ever see these
Oh,
strings.
okay. Those do not change.
Those are very touchy. You can
Yeah.
only
Okay.
translate part
That's
of a
what I
string.
was. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. I want to make sure of that one. Thank you.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I also found the Chimera one in the end. It's 43%.
Oh, okay.
Not bad.
So, yeah. It's amazing seeing how many of them are 100% actual or very close.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
you've got Portuguese, Russian, Danish, Uzbek, French, Arabic, the Basque language, which
Mm-mm.
is not the biggest language in the world, but it's 100%. That means you have some very, very, very passionate Basque speaker who insist on translating it.
Mm.
Because it's something you have to keep up, right?
Mm-mm.
We did not keep up translating the Myanmar language, so it's going down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a single project, right? So
It's a single project. They did not keep up, so it's going down just a little bit. But yeah, Lao language is 88%. We were talking about Asia. But, Estonian is only translated at 84. I know, Adam, you went to Estonia, and you told me that the community there was extremely active, but they did not go on.
And also they all seem to speak 100% English. Actually, when I was there, I actually tried to learn a few phrases in Estonian before I went, and I barely got a chance to use any of them.
So it might
Everybody's
be,
English is just so good. So.
in comparison with Japan, for example, where a lot of admin might not be able to speak English very well, they would translate it 100%, but all the Estonians admin can probably read it perfectly. So they'll only translate the public facing part, and all the English back end they don't care. They're like, oh, we can do it, no problem, of course.
Right, yeah, because I was actually thinking as well, in particular for the Thai language pack as well, the first thing that I would think of translating is the stuff that's facing students.
Yeah.
Not the stuff that's facing the admins. But yeah, of course, if you're, especially with the more technical stuff, you'd be leaving the admins a bit in the lurch, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Wow. Yeah, that's an important point to consider. So
there's a lot of work to do with like Malaysian language is only 18%. It's a very big community, right? There's some of these languages that they could definitely use a push. They would maybe help Moodle being more present in these countries, right? Once you go over the 50% mark, when the app and the website start to feel very natural in your national language, maybe that's one thing that could help. Hey, why don't you use my Moodle? It's in your language. Latin is only 3%, by the way. So,
well, how many speakers of Latin are
Mongolian only is 0. Maltese 1%.
Esperanto's at 14%.
Wow!
But Maori only 1%. That's right. That's
Mongolian Maori as well. Is that 1%?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot. Wow.
Oh wow.
Punjabi is only 2%. Luxembourg, or I don't know how to say it, but yeah, wow.
Luxembourgish.
Yeah. They even have Sicilian. Oh, okay.
It's an interesting. There is a lot of geopolitical aspect to it, like if let's say you push a little bit to translate more, you might have a better penetration of the app within these countries. Asian Creole, there are maybe 50,000 speaker in Montreal who could definitely help. If you were to push a little bit that, you could probably push the app in Haiti for sure. And they need it. Of course they need it.
Is Estonian there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just looking, like, you have Welsh, which is at 46%, but yet Scottish Gaelic is only at 35%.
Yeah.
Are you trying to start up a translation war here?
It's just very interesting, though. You would think that Scottish Gaelic would probably be a more widely spoken language compared to Welsh. All right, that's my image of it, at least. But yeah, okay.
How much
No,
is
I'm not trying to start any language wars. No. Don't get me there.
Irish Gaelic's also down there as well at 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen. You've shown me the map a couple of times, Adam, of the penetration of Moodle within countries, right? Like the number of install or the number of it might literally reflect the translation.
Right. Is it stat? No, stats. I thought it was stats.moodle.org. Oh?
Yeah, Firefox does that to me a lot of times.
Uh-oh.
Site could be temporarily unavailable or too busy. Yeah, too many people are interested. Yeah, that's what the problem is.
I mean, Moodles, like I showed you yesterday, sometimes has some quirks, The language page numbers were all muddled up on the...
That, I actually noticed that got fixed when I logged in.
Yes, it got fixed, but that number yesterday was all strange.
No, that's what I mean. It was strange for me before I logged in, but once I logged into the site,
it was fine.
That actually worked. So if I try, for example, to can I duplicate this into a?
It's showing up here now. I can get the statistics. Yeah, stats.moodle.org. I don't know why. Yeah, took a while to load for me, but it did load.
That's working.
That's working.
When I was logged out before, that was
it was all strange, right?
Strange with the non-breaking double space stuff and things like that. Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
anyway, we've gone to the part where we're actually just chatting away and talking about all the different things. So I think we might stop the recording and continue on. We're just going to geek out a little bit about language.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you very much, Luke,
very
for
welcome.
coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Massive amount of information about this aspect of Moodle that is so important, and yet I don't think a lot of people know what's behind the curtains here, because I certainly didn't, and
I didn't myself.
I've spoken with you a few times about the topic, right? So
yes.
There is so much to know, and so really, really appreciate you coming, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll stop the recording now and see you at the next one. Cheers.